you remember that not too long ago, Dan Bongino sat with Fox and Friends and assured that the public would be given the raw prison video of the Jeffrey Epstein cell. And the reason he said he was going to give the raw video is so that you and I won't think there's any shenanigans. Here, let me refresh your memory.
There's video. We are working on cleaning it up to make sure you have an enhanced, and we're going to give the original so you don't think there were any shenanigans.
Now, Dan, why didn't you just say, hey, we're going to give you the original raw video, period? Not add to it so that you won't think there's any shenanigans. I mean, why would we think there's any shenanigans with you and Cash on the job? And then there's Pam Bondi. It's almost like you guys are the Avengers of justice. So they released the video of the prison cell door that's not Jeffrey Epstein's prison cell door, but a door that leads to a common area, and everybody caught it pretty quick. And then today we have this from Wired. Metadata shows the FBI's raw Jeffrey Epstein prison video was likely modified. It says there is no evidence the footage was deceptively manipulated, but ambiguities around how the video was processed may further fuel conspiracy theories about Epstein's death, leading people to believe, hey, maybe there's some shenanigans involved with the release of this video. The very thing Dan Bongino assured wouldn't be there. So Wired says the United States Department of Justice this week released nearly 11 hours of what is described as full raw surveillance footage from a camera positioned nearby Jeffrey Epstein's cell the night before he was found dead. No, it wasn't anywhere near Jeffrey Epstein's cell, number one. Number two, you couldn't see his cell at all. And number three, the door that was supposed to be Jeffrey Epstein's wasn't Jeffrey Epstein's. The release was intended to address conspiracy theories about Epstein's apparent S side in federal custody, but instead of putting those suspicions to rest, it may fuel them further. Metadata embedded in the video and analyzed by Wire and independent video forensics experts showed that rather than being a direct export from the prison surveillance system, the footage was modified, likely using the professional editing tool Adobe Premiere Pro. The file appears to have been assembled from at least 2 source clips, saved multiple times, exported, and then uploaded to the DOJ's website, where it was presented as raw footage. And it kind of sounds like some shenanigans is going on.
And we're going to give the original so you don't think there were any shenanigans.
They say experts cautioned that it is unclear what exactly has changed and that the metadata does not prove deceptive manipulation. The video may have simply been processed for public release using available software with no modifications beyond stitching together 2 clips. But, the DOJ could put that to bed real quick by just releasing the raw dang footage that everybody can see for themselves. But the absence of a clear explanation for the processing of the file using professional editing software complicates the Justice Department's narrative. In a case already clouded by suspicion, the ambiguity surrounding how the file was processed is likely to provide fresh fodder for conspiracy theories. You think? And then check this out, because I find this hilarious and maybe coincidental. Any aspect of the official story that isn't fully explained will be co-opted by conspiracy theorists, says Mike Rothschild, an editor who writes about conspiracy theories and extremists. Because if you're going to write about conspiracy theorists and extremists, you want it written by a guy named Rothschild. So whatever your flavor of Epstein conspiracies is, the video will help bolster it. But believe him, it's Kash Patel. It's Dan Bongino. You can trust them. I mean, they're in government, right? And then this researcher right here who focuses on digital forensics and misinformation reviewed the metadata at Wired's request. Farid, this guy right here, is a recognized expert in the analysis of digital images and the detection of manipulated media, including deep fakes. He has testified in numerous court cases involving digital evidence. Farid says the metadata raises immediate concerns about chain of custody, the documented handling of digital evidence from collection to presentation in a courtroom. Just like physical evidence, he says, Digital evidence must be handled in a way that preserves its integrity. So these men of integrity like Kash Patel and Dan Bongino don't appear to be very interested in preserving their integrity, in the opinion of some. Metadata, while not always precise, can provide important clues about whether that integrity has been compromised. And now there's kind of no way to know, and it leaves everything up in the air, making us feel like there's some shenanigans involved.
Shenanigans.
If a lawyer brought me this file, he said, and asked if it was suitable for court, I'd say no. Go back to the source. Do it right. If anybody could have done it right, it would be the DOJ, who decided not to do it right. Even though they told you they'd give you raw video footage, it ended up not being so raw. Do a direct export from the original system, no monkey business. Farid points to another anomaly. The video's aspect ratio shifts noticeably at several points, which a lot of people have already pointed out. Why am I suddenly seeing a different aspect ratio, he asks. Farid cautions that while the metadata clearly shows the video is modified, the changes could be benign. For example, converting footage from a proprietary surveillance format to a standard MP4. And just as key, there's this last paragraph. They say, while there may be uncontroversial explanations for the metadata artifacts, such as stitching together multiple days of footage during compilation or the routine export of surveillance footage to an MP4 format, the FBI did not respond to specific questions about the file's processing. And why wouldn't they? Instead, referring Wired to the DOJ in turn referred inquiries back to the FBI and the Bureau of Prisons. The BOP did not respond to a request for comment. So it looks like all around buck passing within the DOJ and the FBI and the Bureau of Prisons. And I just want to leave you with what cross-eyed but trustworthy, because he's in the government, Kash Patel had to say.
I'm not going to withhold information from the American public ever. But I'm also not going to rush to get it out there in a format in which they can't rely on it.
Which is exactly what you just did by releasing that Epstein prison video, not in its raw format. And what exactly was that assurance, again, given to us by trustworthy man full of integrity, Dan Rumble Bongino?
There's video. We are working on cleaning it up to make sure you have an enhanced and we're going to give the original so you don't think there were any shenanigans.
Brian Kilmeade's like, I've seen this before. There's going to be some major shenanigans. And still, the 9 most terrifying words in the English language are, I'm from the government. I'm here to help. Obviously, the government is not interested in helping anybody but themselves. Even a government filled with Kash Patel, Dan Bongino, and Pam Bondi. I will see you in the next video.